and then you can ask it questions?
Let me describe it. Why is this keep doing the side camera thing? Whatever. You're not.
Also, you already have this, so I would be able to check out and try my own implementation.
Yeah. The code's all on the. Okay. So yeah, let me show for people that are just watching this video. Today we're going to be building an AI chatbot with your standard LLM features, but we're going to be using Reactor, which is kind of not the way to do it. Well, at least not the way that people have traditionally thought about it. It's got the homie Theron, homie Strotter. And so if you want to join in, we're going to be allowing people access to my WebStorm. And the reason why I'm comfortable with that is I don't think jerks learn Elixir. So I'm not really, and also it's just going to be on a branch. So it's not like it could actually get into main. So we got that. And then we'll just to show where we were yesterday. We go to GitHub.
Are we live on YouTube?
Yeah.
I'll make a tweet.
Sure. Yeah. Cool. Branch. So we got main. We just pushed in. Was it not question reactors? No, that's something else. We were just working on view branches. 6 minutes ago. Oh, get webhook open issue. Perfect. Okay. And if you just look at the, I'll turn it into, well, it doesn't, well, yeah, it doesn't super matter. We were doing some interesting stuff with webhooks and channels in Phoenix, but today we're going to focus on Reactor. So let's start off with the notebook. Oops. So, all right, we got our Reactor notebook. We'll run it. We also have my Grok key in there. So we have instructor helper. So we have this prompt step. So Reactor works with steps and then the Reactor itself. So here's the prompt step result. Okay, so right now it's not doing anything, but let's just run to see where we're at with this. So run. Okay, so here you can see the prompt and then the final result. Okay. LLM adapter, invalid request.
Valid API key.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna just move it over. It shouldn't show the key, but I don't even want people to. No, the key's there. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. No, let's just try gen output string. Okay, so let's just try the gen function by itself. And I think I know why. All right, because if you do import, then you can just do gen, right? So I should be able to just do gen. Yeah, because it ran the function. And so we do this. And then was it string? And then system. Wait, yeah. System is you are assistant. And then
the one you have below says output string instead of question string.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter. But we're
just checking.
Yeah. What time is it? Let's just see what it says. LLM adapter error. Oh, invalid API key. Oh, interesting. Just a second. Okay. Yeah, just a second. API key. Just a second, sorry.
Go up.
Oh, no. So my key is dead. I need a new.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, my key got killed.
Are you even passing the key? Where did it go up a little bit?
Yeah, no, the key.
Oh, okay, so you just need a new key.
Yeah, let me just real quick. I'm gonna make sure that to double check to see that the key's getting in there. Let me see if there's. Okay. Let me see something. I'm gonna check to see if I have something else. Because maybe the. Oh, you know what we can do? Can go to the swarm and just a second. Let's see if the
Reminder, you're streaming right now.
yeah, I'm not going to show my key. It's IEX. Oh no, the key at least works on a side job. Oh, maybe not. Fuck, I don't know. It doesn't look like the. Oh, you know, it might have gotten disabled. Just a second. Yeah, the cron. All right. So. I'm waiting to see if it runs. It should be running. Let's keep checking. Okay. Timeout. man. All right. Let me get a new Grok key. I'm gonna just. Actually, you know what? This is actually a good thing, and the reason why I'm gonna say it's a good thing is that this is gonna mean that we're gonna have to mock up the responses from the LLM. So this is something that we were supposed to do anyway. So it's fine. We're gonna learn together. Oh shit. All right. So now our degree of difficulty goes up a little bit, but that's fine. Okay. So we got our middleware and stuff like that. Oh, I don't think I'm even sharing my screen. Oh, somebody appreciating the content. Thank you. So
Yeah,
I'm going to end the stream and start. Oh, you shared the link or?
you better know I did.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Well, actually, I mean, it's good that I wasn't sharing my screen. I'll have to clip the. Oh, you know, I'll clip the live stream. That's what I'll do. So that, well, actually, one of the things that I talk about is like I like to show people. Everybody else shows just the parts working. So I might as well be the guy that shows you like the shit doesn't work every single time. All right. So we got to improvise, but it means that we'll have to do this stuff by hand anyway. So thanks to the person that appreciates the content. We're learning together, which is good. All right. So we got our reactors working, right? And we got our debug middleware, which is really cool. So, all right. What we're going to do now is we want to simulate. Well, actually, let's go back to. I think I made a diagram of this. Yeah, we can go to the diagram. Plus, it's not like everybody else is going to have all these keys, and plus, it's better. You know, I happen to know somebody in the stream that runs up like $400 bills because they don't watch their keys too much sometimes. All right. So
Hard out here.
Yeah, well, you know, but I mean, honestly, like we're about to start racking up, so I'm not super worried about it. You know what I mean? Like
Racks on racks.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's like if Nvidia's losing $600 billion because of some shitty LLM, then fuck it. It's it's our time coming up. So I'm gonna say is let's come up with a basic. I'm not gonna type it. Basic reactor that proves the concept. That's a good start. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Perfect. All right. Cool. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get. I was working on a revised version of. So if you want to go and check out the live books we have mad live books, and they're pretty dope. I don't think I finished that one. This one I definitely finished. So I was updating the documentation examples into GitHub, and I was really proud because I duplicated the errors CSS. So we're going to take this, we're going to export it, copy it, go back to our chat GPT. Oh, okay. Here it created the message, Postgres data layer, conversation session, which is cool. I don't think upsert is an actual thing, so it's doing a little bit of hallucination. let's just actually check. So Ash DSL. And we're looking at Ash 0.53, which is a little while ago. This is a lot of scrolls. All right. So, okay. So we're going to go into the resource reference. And let's just see if we can find upsert. Oh, okay. So upsert is a thing. I'll use these actions to be treated as an upsert. Okay. But it looks like that's an option of create. Okay. So actions, create. So what we're going to do is we're going to show it the upsert. This way it has an actual understanding of what it actually looks like. Okay. So this is what upsert looks like. There is no upsert action. And while that goes in, I'm going to go and grab the, well, actually, we can just do it in the, so we're just going to actually, and this is the way that we learn, is we take the thing that we already know or kind of know, and we go to the thing that we are learning, and we combine the two. So let's open up back to our reactors. Okay, so in here, and we can also take our ChatGPT and drag it, put it over here. So the chat is a little bit blocked, but that's fine. You don't really, it's not like it's what we're going to be using the information from. We're just going to kind of duplicate what it looks like. All right, so just a second. I'm looking at the resources, that's why. Okay, so we're going to go here, and we're going to say, find where it defines the domain. Actually, does it not need it? Yeah, oh, okay, so it creates the domain at the bottom. All right, so we need def module, and it's chatbot. So, and we got message. So let's call it .conversation, or yeah. Do, and then we have use ash.domain resources, do resource. Now we don't have it yet, so this is not going to run correctly. Chatbot dot, and I know that's long. I don't like having them long, but we can just copy and paste in a second. Okay, and then I don't know how to duplicate lines. If you can do it in Livebook. And then we have, and we're just going to call it session. It calls it conversation session in the thing, but okay. So now we have this. So we have our message, and now what we're going to do is give it the tutorial. Because we gave it the upsert. Now because it doesn't know that we're doing a tutorial. So what I'm going to tell it is I just have to give it the tutorial that I wrote. And I say, basically, we are doing chat example in a live book. So format your response like this, but without the HTML. And then also that this is the domain. Because then now what it'll see, and you guys can see this, is that it will start formatting it correctly. So this is the thing that I'm looking for, right? This is basically acknowledging that it understands how I structured things. So that's a good start. So actually, I'm going to just evaluate this one. Oops. Oh, it's not a DSL module. Okay, yeah. So, okay, so cool. It got ETS in here. All right, so we got this message. All right, so actually, just to save time and see if it works, we'll, oops, paste. Conversation session, it got that as well. And you notice how it stopped doing the upsert, which is good because it's like, I don't know why you're doing upsert. Because basically for a conversation message, which makes sense, we're not deleting. Like there's no reason to delete a message. If anything, we'll like archive it. But reality, we'd probably just create a new conversation. So let's run it. I got aborted. Okay, perfect. It ran. All right. And you can see kind of like what the module looks like. Great. All right. So create a conversation session. Let's try it. Okay. No switch user for ID. Yeah. User ID. That's strange. Oh, public false. Oh, okay. So this is something new. Like basically you have to make it public. And so the reason why I was listening to a podcast, why they did this, basically they want to make it explicit because if you think about it, if it's everything's public by default, let's say you're working on some information that is private, like somebody's social security number. If it's public, if everything's public, you have to cognitively go and lock things down. And one of the challenges that when you do, for instance, the Ash JSON API, it will take all the public attributes and put them as part of the API. So it's better for me to like eventually learn, oh yeah, I got to make it public versus, oh shit, I let everybody's social security numbers out. All right. Okay. So okay, so let's go back. We learned a little bit, and we can do, and so we'll just add public true. And I don't like the fact that it's this long, but it's life. And so we'll just make all of these public. Boom, boom. And then user ID public. Okay. So now when we run it, we ran it. Okay. Okay, the accept list. So we do have to, it mentioned it here, and we do have to make it accepted by default. Create actions, user defaults. So that's create. Where is it? Okay, so it's. So how do we make it so it's accept all? So I'd rather just do that. So
I think it's underscore asterisk.
Underscore asterisk. Let me
Go ahead.
I'm gonna just ask the AI real quick, see if it can figure it out. How do I make? Oh yeah, it's basically where do I put? Where do I put? Star. Okay, so that's okay. There it goes. So read is read. We need to make create. All right. Cool. That one's good. And actually this makes it much easier to do because then we can do this. All right, I ran the cell. Let's see if we got it now. Perfect. All right, we just created our first conversation session. Okay. Oh.
Excellent.
Setting a default accept action. Okay, so this is another way to do it. So it's good to see. There's many ways to let's try this out since we're a educational stream. We'll try this out as well. Actually, no, it already works. We're moving on. All right. Cool. So we got the conversation session. Now we need to create the user. Okay. So then, so we're going to so what we do is we're going to show the AI, show it in quotes, the AI it working. So, oh, good. You can see at least the text I'm pasting. All right. So I'm pasting that, pasting this. And actually, I'm going to paste this up here as well. So it just understands where we currently are. Go here and say, okay, now continue tutorial where the, oh, we need to have role. There's always role in the sender is, well, I mean, that's probably the ID. So we'll restructure these things, but where there is the assistant and the user. And then what we're going to say is we are going to be mocking the LLM API. Grab some water. All right, so okay, we're doing behaviors. Okay, we got really into the mocking. So I realized like okay, so not let about mocking yet. So so user is chatting. Let's see how that does. All right, I also got some energy powder. Crozier. All right. So the first non-sponsor we have, meaning that they do not sponsor me, is sponsored by Kroger's Energy Mango Pineapple Power with caffeine, B vitamins, taurine, and guarana. So the which reminds me of in the gas stations. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, where it has the Rhino XL or something like that, where it's just these really aggressive looking packages of supplements and powders. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah, I try to do magnesium powders. But yeah, quick question. The latest branch is the service management and livebook update.
No, you can see in the GitHub. It's apparent when you go to repositories, Ash Swarm, and then you go to main. I guess there's too many branches, so it's because it sorts it in order.
Oh, GitHub, the GitHub webhook issue. I see now.
Yeah, so if you go to all branches, it sorts them by date. All right, back to this. All right, so we're now going to sending the user a message. Okay, so so just to kind of go over what's happening, we're going to grab the session, and then we're going to create a message. And because we're using ETS, they should be stored in the thing, in memory of the live book. All right, let's see what happens. Perfect. Okay, conversation, content, user hello. So now, if we do this, because that's returning the message from the Ash create. Let's do this. Session, user ID. Oh, okay. So session doesn't. Let's go back up to look at session, because session. Oh, we should do a has or a relationship.
I agree.
All right. So now we're I don't think I did relationships. So we're going to go to the official Ash live book, which is, I might have it already. I think it's in dev. Oops, no, that's not it. Open dev. Documentation, tutorials. No.
I can just tell you what to write if you want.
Oh, sure, yeah. Darren,
So
hooking it up.
what are the relationships?
Oh, okay.
Ready the logbook you're Okay.
Just a second.
Are we not live sharing or not live sharing? Collaborating?
We do. If he in Grok says his thingy, we should be able to access it.
Okay. Oh, well, you know what? There is this. Do you know what port it is that I need to expose?
It's the one in your browser.
Oh, okay. So this port. So
56918, I think.
okay.
No,
so,
yours is 54. Well, yours is different from mine.
okay. So if I do this, I'm gonna open up a local tunnel. Just a second. Sorry, YouTube audience. Well, actually, there is no YouTube audience, so never mind. Well, and actually, this is an ephemeral link anyway.
Great.
Okay, so this I'm going to put it in the chat. And actually, there's nobody in the YouTube, so if you guys wouldn't mind, like, just opening it up and turning off the volume, if you can, if you have the bandwidth, that would help.
Oh yeah, I think I'm on there. It doesn't show me watching.
I don't.
Is that password?
The password is my IP address.
Oh, wait, you're not sharing the live share link anymore?
Live share.
I need
Oh, the live share for
use password authentication. Set the live book password environment variable. We need a token.
Oh,
Send us your URL. We can steal the token off of it.
this?
It says to go to go to the taskbar, so Lightbook in the taskbar, and then click copy URL.
Oh, you're trying to share the live book through ngrok.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't copy. I don't know if it that didn't paste it. It didn't copy it. So that did not work. Settings.
No, it's not that.
Yeah, it's not copying.
Okay, we'll try going back.
Oh, well,
and then you can set the.
Actually, that might have done it. It was I tried the hotkey. No, it's not pasting. It's weird. So I can't.
Pasting.
Oh, there it is.
Copy that token and send this in.
Yeah, I don't know why it wasn't pasting into. And yeah, so anybody watching this stream later, you want to get on board and jump into my live book or VS Code, come on in. Because like I said, I highly doubt that there's a lot of like malicious jerks that know Elixir. It just, you know what I mean? Like if you're like a hacker or anything like that, you're going to want to, do Python or JavaScript or Java, whatever, all those languages, or Rust or Go. Elixir, and this is just from my perspective, Elixir is the language where it's like, it just has so many features and it's so easy to use, not the language, the ecosystem, that you're like, fuck it, all right, I got to learn this weird shit. Or at least that's my philosophy. Ugh.
There you go. And then I think we can get rid of this session ID up here. See what I'm making changes to?
Where are you?
Conversation message.
Oh, okay. I don't see your icon. Type something in the. Okay. Oh, there you are. All right. I didn't see it. All right. Cool. So we ran it. Did you run it?
I've not run it. No.
Try Shift Enter. Cool. You ran it, and then just you can just keep going Shift Enter, and it runs the cells. Or we can run it. Okay.
Getting an error gives you multiple sessions now.
Multiple sessions, like of ETS?
No, multiple session records.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. So it was already the module is defined. Session.id. That should be correct.
Why is it still running? Something's going on. Stop.
When I move it?
Evaluation that's going on forever.
Okay.
Can you try stopping your process?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
No.
No such input session ID for the message create.
Why don't we just echo the session? So.
Here we go. Session ID is not showing up as a public attribute.
Oh, yeah.
Because
we didn't make it public.
No, but it's because we defined the relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Because we don't want to define it in the attributes and the relationships.
Oh. So wait, so then look, wait, so it's we have belongs to a session, it has the UU ID, and then having a UU ID here also causes a problem.
No, it's because we have to tell it to make it public through the belongs to attribute. It should be public too.
Oh, what's up, Michael? How you doing? I messed. That's gonna cause a problem. And Michael's gone.
There we go. Let's try this now.
Dope. All right. So there we go. Session not loaded. I think, yeah.
I was going to say, we're up.
This last one needs the limit as well. Or rather, I'm going to delete all of our sessions.
Sure. This is the Theron show now. And Theron is the resident Elixir. How long have you been doing Elixir for?
I started in high school in 2014.
So he has been doing it for a long time, relatively.
11 years.
Yeah. Nice. So, I mean, it's pretty much, is this your primary language?
Oh, yeah.
Damn. That must be pretty cool. Because, like, there's so much bullshit that you haven't had to go through. Because that's the thing is, like, if I go back through my career, well, I mean, then again, my career started 25 years ago, and you're 24, yeah. So you were, your parents were having fun when I was 18, working as a intern, programming, doing VB script, ASP, access database, yeah, and JavaScript. It's been a long road since then. Oh yeah, we don't have destroy on the.
That's not the issue. It's not accepting. Bulk destroy. Bulk destroy. What's the issue? It needs an input argument to map a valid inputs for the action. Example. Nope, there's no example. Gotcha.
So I think while Theron's working on that, what I'll do is I'll start working on what the oh, this is interesting, step logic. So now this is the conversation flow, hypothetically. I hope the error that didn't lose the message. It looked pretty good. All right, cool. Fully functional in Ash. Okay, so this goes into what I was talking about in terms of data modeling. So right now we have, assuming Theron's able to hook this up.
You have to add destroy to the session.
We hook all this stuff up, and sorry. Okay, let's say we hooked all this stuff up. Oh yeah, if we go back up here, there's something that I like to talk about, and actually this is a good time to kind of go over it. So you saw me skip over it a lot. Let's find the first time I reference ontology, because you're gonna hear me talk about that a lot if you watch this stream. Because I feel like it's the I keep saying I know it's one of my secret weapons. when I hear other people talking about AI or databases or anything like that, and they don't use the word ontology, I immediately know I'm many, many steps ahead of them. And the reason why is, let's look up what an ontology is. Dictionary, and then ontology. Okay, so ontological. Relating to the branch of metaphysics dealing with the nature of being. That's not what we're necessarily talking about here, but it actually kind of applies, right? The nature of being. All right, but 2, showing the relations between the concepts and the categories in the subject area or domain, right? Showing the relationships, categories, concepts and categories, which, you consider like nouns and verbs. So another way to think about it, an ontological database, an ontological framework for integrating and conceptualizing diverse forms of information. That is what Ash does. It is grouping many different forms. Oh yeah, I'll turn to the camera. That I always get wrong. It is grouping multiple forms of information, i.e. a database. So the reason why I say if I don't hear somebody talk about ontology, it's because I know they're not using, so ontologies are usually, either scientists or industry experts, all these things. They spent a lot of time thinking about and arguing and doing all this stuff to come up with the representation of data for a specific field. So that field, for instance, in Theron's case is ERP, so like shipping and manufacturing and all that kind of stuff. There's legal, there's healthcare, and what we're going to use is there's actually one for chat bots. There's a couple of them. But what that means is that I don't have to come up with the schema, and the AI doesn't have to come up with the schema. Knowing from my 25 years, figuring out the schema for your database takes a lot of effort. You might get it wrong, which also takes way more effort to fix it. So getting it right the first time is a critical advantage. And that's one of the things I say to people in the AI field or any field in general is planning, right? The one of the ones I like is that plans are useless, but planning is essential. And what that means is that I spend a lot of time, and have spent a lot of time on these subjects, figuring out what's the best way to do something. But once I actually start doing it, the plan itself can't foresee what is on the next level. So let's kind of go into what that means specifically. So this is ontology. It went into the examples. Yeah. Okay.
Your notebook works now, by the way.
Awesome. Theron hooking it up. His birthday present to us is his presence. All right. So let's go back to the Theron
And our
show.
present to him would be, having a complete ontological flow that will be able to map all of his domains for his ERP.
Exactly.
That would be amazing.
Right. And that's what I start. And so the thing is that go back way back in history is exactly why in one of my kind of, I'd say, groundbreaking live books was going over the ontology for ERPs, the SCORE ontology. So like now that you guys have been hanging with me, now that you guys kind of know this is why when I was showing this to you, this may have looked like, oh, this is just a guy showing me something with the LLM. Whereas I'm like, no, guys, I'm actually showing you that one day, very soon, we will just be able to create the entire structure of entire business domains instantly. Whereas, and actually Theron was there. So I did the math, and basically it takes, to get to the level that we can get to almost instantly, takes weeks or months or even years to get right from a human perspective. But because we're using an LLM and we're including reasoning, and so this is where Strotter comes in, he knows very well that the reasoning is almost as important, if not more important, than the output you get. Right? And so Strotter's probably busy. He's got tons of projects and I think 4 kids and a wife. So he's not always hanging out on the stream, but he's the native. So what I would say is that in terms of the way that like Strotter and I operate, right? And now we'll add Theron. Like Theron is the of our Voltron, like the body of it, right? Executing the live books and knowing the Elixir and actually making what we're talking about actually happen. And then, or another way is actually a better way to put it is operations, right? Theron is the operations. He is making sure that what happens is happening. Then Strotter is tactical. So he is still kind of in the ground doing operations, but he's piecing together the different AIs, piecing together different libraries. He's kind of still kind of innovating that way. And I'm strategy, right? While I can do some of the tactics and I can do some of the operations, that's not what my focus is. My focus is on looking at the entire universe of stuff and saying, all right, guys, let's work on these things. So, all right, we're back to a chatbot conversation after my rant. Back to the ontology. So, for instance, as our birthday present to Theron, he, for his ERP, is going to be the first person, other than the people that are going to pay me. One of the things just to see on the horizon that I was experimenting with, got pretty far, just couldn't get to so the way to put it, for instance, I got through the strategy, got through the tactics, but I don't know enough Elixir to do the operations. So actually, Theron, you'd like this. What we're going to do is there's this thing called Copilot Kit.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to have the first live view Copilot Kit. So if you have this in your application, your shit's going to just be so much more dominant than everybody else's that my acronym, I'd say it's like NEC, which is not even close. Meaning if you have a live view application with the ontologies, with the LLMs, with all this stuff, there's not going to be anybody that can compete with you. That's my goal. Isn't like to help you make a really good one where it's yours is just so far, like I want it to be so much better than everybody else's that everybody looks at it and they're like, man, I can't even, like, I don't even know where to start. That's the other phrase that I'd want people to say is like, because that's the thing, is you can only, I don't think anybody can compete with Elixir. You can compete with Elixir is to just do Elixir better, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So from the pure Elixir perspective, Theron, what do you think about the statement I just made? I said that basically nobody can compete with Elixir. Why do you think I said that? I guess that would be another way to put it.
I mean, there's the developer productivity, that's part of it, but there's also the scaling properties.
Yeah. So real quick for the people that don't know, this is one of my favorite articles, 1 million jobs a minute. So when I say 1 million jobs, I think 1 million, here's a way you could translate it. 1 million LLM calls a minute, right? I could do, I don't know, it doesn't even, so that's the thing about Elixir. It doesn't even matter how many clusters or how many CPUs I use, because it's like such a fraction of what anybody else is using that it's insignificant. But, imagine 1 million LLM calls per minute and without even breaking a sweat, like not even thinking about scaling. I guess that's another perspective that Elixir has, is not just scaling. So there's different ways of thinking about scaling. And I'll do another, this will be another digression. Is the thing about scaling, there's kind of 2 ways of scaling. There's scaling where I'm going to scale better than you. So like, for instance, you can do, because there's no other language that can do 1 million jobs in a minute. So we're not even, well, that's the whole thing, right? There's no other language. I don't care if you're doing Rust or you're doing Go. There's no way that even those languages can compete with the way that Elixir does what it does because of the way that OTP works. The thing is that I'm sure in Rust and Go, which are probably the biggest competitors, you still have to manage clusters. You still have to manage scaling across regions and stuff like that. Those are just not things that you think about with Elixir, not at any kind of reasonable level. So anyway, that's where the scaling difference comes in, is that I don't have to worry about anything compared to anybody else. So there's that. Again, we're Elixir's back in that not even close category. So, all right, back to the subject at hand. We got about 20 minutes, and then I have to go for about an hour, walk the dog. I won't probably be back on until the afternoon. All right, so back to the subject at hand. We have a couple ontologies, 4 ontologies to choose from, right? Okay, chatbot interaction ontology, which looks good. Dialogue act markup language based on ISO. So I like this. Whenever I see something like this, I'm like, that's for me. I want the most standardized, categorized, like, for instance, when you watch a video about astronomy and they're like, it's star Jacobson 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm like, great. I want it so random that they didn't even give it a title. But here so for instance, here where it's like user, chatbot, session, intent, message, response, that's okay. But here's defined dialogue acts: request, inform, confirm, reject, right? This is more of what I want, right? This describes just this kind of describes any chat interaction, whereas this is actually doing something, right? I'm requesting money from you. You're informing me how much money I have in the bank account. You're confirming my order of 1 million pounds of grain to my factory. You're rejecting my application for a loan for $1 billion. That's what I'm interested in.
Okay, there we go. So yeah, Discord is 100% Elixir. So
yeah, there you go.
And it does, millions, probably billions of transactions every day. And
they don't even charge for it, right? Like that's the whole thing about Discord is
exactly.
they can scale. Like for instance, they let you do video. I'm probably doing peer-to-peer video with you guys, where it's like they don't care about the bandwidth because they're not paying for it, which is cool. So anyway. So if we're going to choose from these 4, this is why I'm making my choice, right? So that's another thing where I say it puts me ahead of other people, is because other people will just run to this, or they'll run to this, or they'll run to this, right? And I know this is the important part, not this. I don't care about this. I don't care about this. I don't care about this, or this. This is what I care about.
It's all about decisions.
Exactly. And also this is CRUD. If you think about it, like this is this is read, this is like update, this is delete, and this is your create, right? This is a perfect example, right? We could do like a CRUD example in Discord. People know Discord. I'm requesting a connection with you. I'm requesting to be your friend. That informs you that I want to be your friend. You can then confirm that we're now friends, or you can reject us being friends, right? Now, if I were to talk to you about intent, it's like, well, what the response is just. So the other thing is that it's in terms of semantics. Let's go to the word semantics, because it's also, that's a very important one. Strader knows very much about semantics, but most people don't. Okay, the branch of linguistics and logic concerned with meaning. There are a number of branches of sub-branches of semantics, including formal semantics, which studies the logical aspects of meaning, such as sense, reference, implication, and logical form. Lexical semantics, which studies word meanings and word relations, and conceptual semantics, which studies the cognitive structure of meaning, right? So I can tell you that just from me, and this is another thing about triggering an LLM, all I have to do is trigger the LLM to say, we are having a conversation about ontologies and semantics, and it knows exactly what I'm talking about, right? Other people are prompting it like, you are a super genius at doing X, Y, and Z. And I'm just like, we're talking about ontologies and semantics. That's it. One sentence, we're done. Move on. So this is what ontologies look like. Now, one of the things I want to point out is let's and this is where I talk about the bias of the language model. And what I mean by that is it's biased toward junior engineers. It's biased towards the lowest common denominator, in my opinion, because I gave you all these reasons why this is the most important ontology, but let's look at the one it chose as the most important. It chose the chatbot ontology, or example of A. So this is not even an official ontology. No, this is the one up here, right? So it just chose the kind of the generic one, right? Whereas I'm talking about, this is what, another way to put it is.
So
yeah.
I actually went over this with a client last night. Typically what I do, like you just said, it favors junior engineers. It favors these different entities. Usually what I do is, in order to strip it of all influence of the previous conversations and the things that it leans towards, I usually generally just ask it, given these items, what would be the best practice solution for, and I don't even tell it my use case. I just ask it what would be the best practice solution. And usually it should be able to pick B if you word it like that. But if you don't, it will fall back onto its priors.
Yeah. So another couple of things that I do is, you could say, like, what would a PhD do? That's really short. Or another one is, if I'm doing code, I would say, like, how would the core team of Ash develop this X, Y, and Z? Okay, so it chose the chatbot ontology. So now you can see, let's convert ISO into Ash resources using the CLI. Okay, so here we start getting into the different parts. Okay, so then now we're generating Ash resources based on the parts that it's come up with, right? And so now here we're going, and I'm not going to go into those too much, but the from here on, that's basically what we're working with. So copy this. We're going to go. Let's start a new conversation. And what we're going to do is, we're going to take this, and we're going to take our live book, which, by the way, Theron hooked up for those that just joined up. We're going to grab this, not this one. We're going to grab the other one, the Reactors live book. And so we're going to say, we're going to export, we're going to copy, and we're just going to change the thing that it talks about. Where did I lose? Oh, my chat GPT. All right, too many windows. So what we're going to say is that let's call the domain, and I want to look at it the way it was put, diamal, right? Like, okay, so we can just say call the domain, and instead of that spelling, we'll just use that way. That's more of the better way. So let's call the domain in the next version of the live book, diaml dot, and then we go back up to what we were talking about up here, and we grab the stuff it came up with. So dialogue app. So this is good, right? Chatbot, diaml, dialogue act. So, and actually, I don't want to call it that. We want to come up with a better name. So, well, we'll just give it Ash Swarm. Swarm. And then we'll just do resource like this. So let's see what it comes up with. Perfect. Okay, so I got to go in 10 minutes, so I'm going to just kind of wrap up. But what I'm going to do before I leave,
Could you push that notebook?
yeah. Let's just and I'll share the link. Share the link to the two conversations in the chat. So actually, yeah. Let me get this in for you, and we'll just kind of wrap up the video. So I'm gonna actually wrap it up here. Oh yeah, let me put a link to the Ash Elixir channel in the YouTube, so you can join us up here if you want to talk to us. I got the Chapman GPT server, but that's kind of more VIP. You can come to it if you chat with me, but I'm not going to just put that out there. So let me copy link, put it in the chat of YouTube. All right, that's in the Discord. And then we're going to go to close the stream. So
Talk to you later.
see you guys.